It would help if I had stuff ready for this, but here we go. What's up, shitheads?
It's just,
Special
it's
Thursday
just
night
one.
edition this week.
It's just one
Well,
hit.
that's true.
Just watching Darnell
Well,
Mooney make me look like an idiot in every league. He just got another pass.
yep.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a thing. If I play, if I'm playing two different people in two different leagues, and they have players that overlap, like Darnell Mooney, or pretty much, well, that's my example for this week. They always play well, every time.
So if you get doubled up, something they're guaranteed to play well.
They always play well. I remember this last year too. I remember like talking about it again and again, saying like, oh, I would go through it maybe on the podcast when we did them. I would go through and be like, okay, these are the people that I'm doubled up on, so you should probably start them.
Well, there you
Kyle
have it.
Pitts, Kyle Pitts with another catch on my
So maybe
bench.
that's your start and sit of the week going forward is whoever you're playing against.
So annoying.
Um, so yeah, another week in the books. On to week 5 now in NFL. Uh, doesn't feel like it's going that fast, but at the same time, it feels like it's flying by. So,
Yes, it does.
and it's been a crazy season so far in our fantasy league because two of the top teams in the league from last year, who have arguably been the better teams in the league, with you and Sweet Pea, are not at the top of the league this year. So,
Look who joined us.
look who decided to show
I
up.
made it.
Did you see me
All
pull
right.
Kyle Pitts from my lineup right before the game started? And now he's playing well.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I pulled him from my lineup right before the game started because I was like, you know what? Let's just punish him on the bench real quick. And I think he's
That would make
got. Let's
sense
see.
why you're
5
ninth out of
three.
10 people in our league in terms of start percentage.
No, that's because I have a good. That's because I have a wealth of good players. I need to just trade them all off and let my bench
Yeah.
be terrible, and then that percentage will go up.
This is hilarious that Baker Mayfield has 109 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, I think Kirk Cousins is over 300 yards, isn't he?
He is in 2 touchdowns.
So insane.
That's good old drop back and pass football for you. And we're halfway through the third quarter, and it's 24-17. I think that's what the league wanted. Shout out Crowley for assuming comment as it Trey, calling him a pussy boy.
Why he call me a pussy boy?
I don't know, because you weren't here when we started.
Man, I got other shit to do. Band practice. I'm finna be
What are you
famous.
snacking on?
The Pop-Tart.
Oh,
It's a brown sugar
what flavor?
cinnamon.
Blueberry.
Come on, man.
Trash. Brown sugar cinnamon's
Yeah.
the only way to go.
You guys are fucking commies.
I
That
like
isn't a very it's not a
strawberries
snack,
up
is it?
1B with brown sugar cinnamon. And
Man.
the underrated one is
You
hot
better
fudge
throw it,
sundae.
Kurt.
Both of you guys are wrong because the best flavor is peanut butter, but they don't make them.
Well, it can't be the best flavor if I don't make it anymore.
Yes, it can.
Hey, speaking of things that don't get made anymore, do y'all remember the chicken bacon ranch flatbreads at Taco Bell?
No.
Oh, they were so good. So good.
Well, what if I?
Why
if I
did that
made-
remind me of you making that chicken Dorito shit at my condo?
Because it was delicious.
Yeah.
You didn't miss much of anything, Kurt. We had just started. We kind of talked about the game and nothing of substance.
Oh, cool.
Chase just sent his start and sit, so we're good there. We'll run through last week. If I can pull it up here. Nope, not that one.
Man, I'm fucking hungry.
Saw that rocking out you did, man.
Yeah, dude, it really is.
Why is this not? Whatever. All right. So I ended up being the highest scoring team in the league again last week. Second week for me out of 4 weeks.
You're
So
peaking too
hopefully I can
early.
start-
Yeah.
right.
Dude, here's the ticket. If you're gonna play good, you gotta play good 5 times. At the very least, you make your money back for the league, and then the rest is you're playing with house money.
Right. Maybe that's what I'm going for. But I ended up beating the hell out of Hayden, 186.74 to 79.8.
Thank God, man. Fuck him.
Hayden's cruising
Yeah.
for that number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah,
And
He
he's,
let-
had
he's
3
only
bad
got
weeks in a
Trey.
row.
He's only got Trey by 49 points on that, on potential.
Well, think of how heavily vested he is in the Dolphins and the Rams.
Well, the Chiefs too.
Oh yeah,
He
that's true.
keeps
He's got the
picking up
Chiefs as
Chief
well.
people. Yeah. Grant Collins showed up again, second week in a row, 173.78 over old Jay Wright, 146.9. That will be Grant Collins the last 2 weeks, his potential 217.44 and 181.68. So he's
Impressive.
a little fire. Jed with another big win over Trey, 138.78 to 131.16. That game was going back and forth the whole time. It was coming down to the wire. Chase beat G Rob 153.92 to 127.22, and then Wendell knocked off old Commish 143.2 to 112.4.
I'm just glad I scored more than
Struggle for
100.
the Commish there.
Well, I mean, you look at all the people I have out or not playing. I mean, Devonta Adams, AJ Brown. That's just 2, I guess, but
Doesn't help.
it's been tough.
So going through and looking at if we did our record with our potential, everybody is pretty close to the same except for a couple of people. Sweet Pea would go from 3-5 to 5-3. Wendell would go from
Wow.
5-3 to 2-6. And then Grant Robinson, Jed, and Trey would all be 3-5.
Or would I
And
be
then
4-4 still?
Yes, that's correct. And then if you looked at our record with the median, Chase would be the only one undefeated at 4-0. Me and Jed would be 3-1. Taylor, Wendell, Grant Collins would be 2-2. Everybody else would be 1-3. Which is the other crazy thing. We've only got 3 people with a winning record right now. Me and Chase are 7-1. Wendell's 5-3, and then Tyler, Jed, Grant Collins are all 4-4. Sweet Pea's 3-5, and then Hayden, Trey, and Grant Robinson are bringing up the end at 2-6.
I would say Trey's tanking for next year, but he's got Drake London with 20 in the third quarter.
Yeah, what is this, bro?
I don't know. You're not doing a good job of tanking.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the Thursday night game. There's 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and Trey already has 48.26 points in his matchup tonight. Which he's got
48.
Baker Mayfield. He's got Baker Mayfield with 17.86, Rashad White with 7.9, and Drake London with 22.5.
Yeah.
Playing against Sweet Pea, who's got 20.9 out of Mike Evans.
Oh, fumble. Yeah, they recovered it. Godwin fumbled, but they recovered it. Trey, your boy Rashad White should have had a long touchdown. He broke free.
I
It was
saw
like a 30-yard run, and if he would have just let Godwin go ahead of him and block that guy, I think he could have scored.
Well, what a dumbass, right?
That
mean, it
Godwin
was-
fumble actually helps me out to an extent because Wendell's got him against me this week.
Don't worry, you'll be the highest scoring team, and it won't matter. That is 3
Well,
peats.
hey, I'm resorting back to my old ways. I've got 3 tight ends in the starting lineup this week.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, we'll see how that works. White tried to be cute, and it cost him. That's what Crowley said.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I believe I missed this comment. Trey, shouldn't you be able to grow a real beard by now?
I should be able to, yes. Unfortunately, I cannot. And that's just life for me, you know?
You just accept it and move on, right?
Man, you can't force some things. You can't.
Well, Bucky Irvin with his
Um,
first terrible run of the night.
So looking at our potential point differential, so Grant Collins is still the only one over 90% and 93.4. And then Sweet Pea's down at the bottom at 78.6, Tyler's at 80.4, and Hayden's at 80.7.
What is this that we're
Pretty
talking
rough.
about?
The percent of your potential points
Oh,
that you
yeah.
scored on the
Okay.
year. So yeah, that'll do it there.
I'm
Because
disappointed.
so Chase has the most potential points, 727.7. I'm second at 723.22. Then it goes to Sweet Pea is third at
Wow.
655.74.
Dang.
Grant Collins is next at 637.64. And then Tyler's got 624.26. And then it goes down to 608. So there's your other crazy stat that to show you how crazy Sweet Pea's season's been so far.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Trey Crowley's proud of you starting Baker.
Yeah, man, I couldn't start Burrow against who do they fucking have? The Ravens.
Yeah. Probably a
Like,
smart
I
move.
feel like I've started them before, and it's backfired and not went well for me. So I feel like I'm gonna not start him. I'm gonna choose Baker, and Baker's gonna do good. Obviously, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns as of right this second, and the game's not even over. But I feel like Burrow's gonna beat him this week. You know, like
Yep.
for no reason at all. I'm like extremely high on pretty much every single offensive player on the Ravens, though. Like just all of them.
Even Rashad Bateman?
Yeah. Any of them, really.
That guy sucks.
Well, do you know who
He'll
he's playing?
catch 2 passes a game.
I'll probably take those 2 fucking touches for 80 goddamn yards and a touchdown.
Now he could do that, but he usually doesn't.
Every week
he's like a 3 for 20 guy at this point.
Well,
All right. For our starts and sits, do we ever push the receiver and running backs up, or did it stay at 20? Did we go to 22 or did it stay at 20?
it was at 18, and because we bumped
It
up
was
the time,
18 went to 20. That's what it was.
we bumped it to 20. Yes.
Well, I was asking because I was trying to go through here and start looking at it right before we got into this segment, and I picked Deontay Johnson to start, and he scored 21.3. So I was trying to make sure that I hit winner.
Well, even if we didn't move that scoring, we'd have been. Well, I guess you were thinking that we moved it up from 20.
Yeah, I thought it was to 22. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. No.
So-
We went from 18 to 20.
All right, yeah. So jump right into start and sit there.
Yeah.
So I started Deontay Johnson, hit that one. Tyler started Kyler Murray, solid 9.98. So that's
He started out so good too. Like the first drive, he threw a touchdown. I was like, "Oh, here we go." Horrible.
yeah. He showed you.
All right, Baker, throw it to Rashad White.
Yeah,
Chase
please.
started DJ Moore, which
He got
looked promising with the touchdown, but he only had 3 for 22 and a touchdown, so he did not hit with 11.2.
Oh, he had a touchdown. He still didn't hit. That's crazy.
Yeah, 3
That
catches,
sucks.
22 yards and a touchdown. And then Trey picked old Red Rifle.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
And 15.7, so that's it for him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my start was barely good, but it was good. Nobody else's was. Off the bat. I think that's first for me this year. I set Juwan Jennings. He ended up with 3 for 88, so barely got over the threshold. So I missed that one. Tyler, you said Zach Charbonnet, but then you said if he ended up, if what Kenneth Walker played, you wanted to change it to Garrett Wilson, I believe.
hmm
Does that sound correct?
Yeah. I don't even know how Garrett
So-
Wilson did.
Garrett Wilson 5 for 41, but lost fumble, so 7.1. That's a winner.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. And then with probably the funniest one of the night, Chase decided to sit Derrick Henry, who fucked out on his first play.
Oh, yeah, he did. Why did he pick Derrick
35
Henry?
points, I think.
I don't know, but he hit on the first drive of the game.
Yeah, his first carry was an 87-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it was the first thing that happened is he hit.
And then
Bro, did you see it? Did you watch it?
His knee?
Yeah.
Yeah. He got rolled up on.
Oh, is he toast forever?
No, he's fine. He'll be all right.
who you talking
He's gonna
about?
be hurt for a minute, I bet. Baker he
Oh,
held on to it for a good bit and got sacked and kind of got rolled up on. It didn't look terrible.
yeah, he's fine. We'll be back in there.
He fucking yeah.
Trey set Raheed Shaheed, who had 8 for 83.
Yeah.
Whoa! I didn't realize he had that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had like
11
7
targets.
or whatever.
Wow.
Like he fucked me because he didn't get less than what he needed to, but he didn't get, as much as he needed to. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. Either way, I was wrong.
Derek Carr
No,
loves
it's
him.
funny. It's funny that we have random people come in here and ask for our opinions on trades and who they would, who they should pick up and who they shouldn't. And if you look at our starts and sits, like we're fucking terrible. On who we
Yeah, but I mean,
start.
we're trying to guess people that aren't necessarily like
Yeah.
your. I mean, and then we're trying to
Yeah.
sit people who are decent and.
Yeah, I'm
I
trying
don't
to.
know. I don't put a whole lot of weight into it. I try to make it like a flex play that I think could really win you the week versus somebody who
Right.
should be at every week start that I think is going to underperform.
And my sit is like I kind of take that at like it's somebody that you probably wouldn't ever really think about sitting. I'm always trying to pick somebody.
Yeah.
Like, well, hell, I've been picking Tyreek, and I did that one week. I refused to pick.
Yeah,
him.
you can't do that anymore.
I mean, he's like, their offense is terrible.
yeah, that
Uh,
sucks.
I mean, he's like it's until somebody does something, it's
Until they
hard.
trade for a quarterback.
Yeah, it's hard to not start him because it's fucking Tyreek Hill, but like.
Yeah.
I would be sick if I had him on the no bench league.
Oh, guess who has him?
You're not dropping him.
I've got him. Yeah, and I can't do anything with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he droppable?
Yeah, in the no bench league he is. Yeah, I think so.
Well, because sometimes
Let him play. I've tried trading him, but the trade offer I got was basically the same thing. It was
Yeah.
maybe a little bit better, but with less upside.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Kyle Pitts wide open.
Did he catch it?
I gotta quit watching the game. Yeah, no, I gotta quit watching the game. No, he did. They didn't even pass it to him, but I keep.
Tyler's trying to speak that into existence too.
I'm just annoyed. Yeah, I mean, I should have left him in there, but I thought, you know what? No, like let's just. It doesn't matter. I'm disappointed.
Trust him though. I mean, like he did what he got 0 fucking points last week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Five
I mean,
five catches on 6 targets for 73 yards already.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. You didn't have to tell me.
Tight ends, man. I fucking love them.
Yeah.
They just they're always there for us. I almost traded for him today too. I might have started him, to be honest with you, if
So
you'd been involved in that trade.
I just saw the replay of Baker Mayfield get bent up, and his fucking offensive lineman is holding his leg too. Like, bro, let him
Yeah.
fucking go. Like, he's sitting there getting bent over your shoulder. Like, just let go of his leg.
He'll be fine. I don't think he's too bad.
No, he's walking around.
Can't wait for this Darnell Mooney touchdown. That's inevitable. Oh, Ray McLeod.
Oh, Ray.
Did Chase
All right.
send anybody his starts and sits this week, by the way? Did he send them
Yeah, I
to you?
texted him about it right
Okay.
before we came on,
Got him.
so we're good.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. So we'll start him on the start, and it's Jaden Reed.
Yeah, that's an easy one there. That's good.
So, who wants to go next?
Trey can go ahead. I had mine written down and I can't remember it. I have my sit.
You have it written down and you can't remember it?
Yeah, that's why I write things down, so I don't have to remember them.
Where did you write it down?
My
So-
phone?
Look it up.
What do you think I'm doing? I can just pull my phone out before I get to look.
Oh, man, a start for the week. I haven't recently.
Yeah, you haven't even thought about it, which is why you're stalling, running your mouth about my iPhone notes.
Bro, I never want to go first because I always pick the last fucking minute. I do it right here as we're live on the podcast. I never
Here, I'll go.
prepared.
My start against the San Francisco 49ers is going to be Marvin Harrison.
Who?
He's only Marvin Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
He's only scored over 20 once, and that was a 2-touchdown game. But he scored each of the last 3 weeks. He's getting the targets. And in theory, they should probably be behind in that game and need to throw the ball. Trey shows up late and leaves early on every other podcast, and now he's making demands.
That's right.
Hey,
All right, I
listen,
got my start. I found my note.
okay.
Right.
Just a guest watching.
Mine is now you could argue that he's already, this isn't a risky enough one, but it's Brian Thomas. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is finally going to have like a legit big breakout game, like 8 receptions for over 100 and a touchdown, maybe a second. So Brian Thomas.
So that's a good matchup for him to do that. I think they're playing Indianapolis. Indianapolis
Indy.
doesn't have a good
Yeah.
secondary, so. Oh, look, it's Captain Clutch in the comments.
I almost wanted to go with Josh Downs on the other side of the ball, but I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. And if it's Anthony Richardson, which it sounds like it probably will be, then I think that Alec Pierce is probably a better start than Josh Downs. It's just a guess. I don't think anybody's really a great start, but I think if I'm going one of those two, I'm going Alec Pierce because Alec Pierce fits what Anthony Richardson does.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I think if you have to pick a Colts wide receiver, then it's Pierce if Richardson plays. But if Richardson doesn't play and it's Flacco, then you're probably looking at
Then it's everybody else. You can pick anybody.
that's valid. Yeah, including the damn
Flacco,
tight
you
end.
can pick anybody. Yeah, that's funny.
Crowley, start Deontay Johnson or Rashid Shaheed. Deontay's supposed to play the Bears, so I don't know if that's really a good matchup anyway with Carolina. So probably Shaheed, in my opinion.
I'd be Shaheed there as well.
All right, Trey, who's your start?
So I'm gonna go somebody in the same game Tyler just picked. I'm gonna go Pittman.
All right.
From what I'm reading about Richardson right now, because actually I was reading this right before he was talking about it. He was limited in practice today. It didn't appear that he did a lot of work according to this little analysis here. So it's trending that Flacco is going to start Sunday. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to, but I'm picking Pittman to start.
So trending that Flacco's going to start, as well as Jonathan Taylor hasn't practiced all week. So that could be another thing to watch and how that plays out.
Oh, okay.
Because if they have to use Trey Sermon to try to run the ball, they're probably going to end up throwing it more often.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Trey Sermon. I hope that's who they've got. I hope they start him so that I can put him in there.
yeah.
Isn't that
all right.
sad? That's the point that I'm at in my life. I'm hoping Trey Sermon can get the start. That's how my year's going.
Oh. All right, Trey, who's your sit?
My sit of the week. I don't know if this dude has played that good or not. I'm gonna look and see what his numbers are for the year. No, I don't think that's a good pick.
Hey, while you mull this over, can I just say I almost made my start of the week Tyrone Tracy
What? Why?
because it doesn't look like Devin Singletary is going to play.
Really?
Hmm
That would be.
I didn't because I'm not sure if he's going to. If I had some type of clarity on whether or not he was going to sit or not, it would. If I heard that Singletary was sitting, my start was going to be Tyrone Tracy.
Be interesting. I got him on my team.
Yeah,
That would have been your sit or your start.
my start. Yeah, I would have started Tyrone Tracy.
Interesting.
Who should be my sit?
Well, here I'll tell you my set while you look yours up if you're still looking.
Yeah, I'm still looking.
All right, I'm sitting Deontay Johnson. He's been fan-freaking-tastic the past 2 weeks with over 20 points. But like Will kind of alluded to earlier there with Curly's starter sit decision, I think that Chicago puts the clamps on him this week. I think he'll still be
Yeah.
good. I just don't think he's going to be – I don't think he's going to be like he has been.
Yeah. Do you have a backup in case he doesn't play since he's questionable?
Is he hurt?
Who isn't really hurt this year?
That's valid. He does actually have a designation, though. Let's see what it says. Ankle injury
didn't know he was
limited
hurt.
on Thursday. Yeah. Non-participant Wednesday, limited Thursday. The team expects
Yeah,
him to be
I'm
available
picking
to play in week 5,
Yeah.
so they shouldn't read into this news too much, barring any unforeseen setbacks. So, yeah, he should be okay.
Yeah, I'm picking him. Darnell Mooney for a freaking second touchdown. God.
Jake says
What?
Malik Neighbors is still in concussion protocol for the
I told you, when there's people, when I play them in more than one league, they go off every time. I mean, it just feels like every week that I play, this is what happens. Darnell, I'm going to get beat by Darnell friggin' Mooney.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Well, who did I get beat by with Grant where he scored a bazillion points?
Oh, Jamal Jennings.
Dwan Jennings
Yeah.
and Chuba Hubbard and just freaking the biggest hodgepodge of people you could see off the waiver wire. And now here he is with probably like 26 or 27 points.
Let's see. That was what 15
20.
yards. That should put him up to like almost 30.
28.
Oh,
What a joke.
He had 20.6. Yeah,
28.9.
28.9.
28.9.
Man,
What a
who
joke.
fucking sit this week? I don't want to pick an easy one because I feel like I got a lot of ones I can pick that are it's easy.
Who'd Chase pick while Trey reads?
Yeah,
Chase picked Sam Darnold.
to sit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Against
which
the
is interesting. He leads the league in touchdown passes. He's the only quarterback to throw multiple touchdown passes in each game. He had the big game where he scored 25 or 30 fantasy points, but he's been solid. So that is a pretty bold move to say Sam Darnold.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
So, and then you got yours.
No.
So I'm gonna take a guy. He's only scored double digits once, but he's getting multiple targets, at least 8 targets in every game, and it's Amari Cooper.
Oh, God. Amari Cooper sucks.
Well, I
He's
don't
got a good
know.
matchup this week, doesn't he?
Huh?
He's got a good
Washington.
matchup this week, I think. Yeah, he's got a good matchup.
So he didn't look very good last week against the Raiders. Granted, he had a 80-yard touchdown called back due to a somewhat bogus holding call. 8 targets every week. Only one game that he scored a touchdown, and that's the only game he scored over like 9 points because he's got the masseuse throwing him the ball. So that doesn't help him.
Let's see.
Tyler
Man.
losing to bum like Superman losing to Pee Wee Herman in my world of fantasy.
Dude, I lose. This has been this has been awful. My last like 3 weeks has just been my teams have been terrible, and the teams I go up against, they've like looking at the starting lineup, you're just like, oh yeah, I got a good chance, and then like after the first quarter of the 12 o'clock games on Sundays, you're like, I don't need to look at this anymore. I'm pretty well out.
Yeah.
It's early though,
Chase
so
is-
like I mean, it is what it is.
Right. Well, it's like what I told y'all. I texted y'all Sunday that probably in the first half of those noon games, I was projected to score 150, and I was going to miss the median.
Oh yeah.
And I ended up being the highest scoring team in the league. All my players started scoring touchdowns. So anything can happen.
Except for me
Chase's other
scoring a lot
point
of
about
points.
Sam Darnold. Well, that's valid. Chase's other point about Sam Darnold was the Vikings against the Jets are in London, so that we have a London game.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. So, all right, Trey,
All right.
who's your sit?
All right, here we go. It's gonna be a bad one, and I'm gonna miss it, but we're gonna fucking say it anyway. I'm gonna say that we're gonna sit we're gonna sit Stephon Diggs against the Bills.
Okay.
That's the revenge game. The revenge game.
The
The
opposite
narrative.
revenge game.
Yeah.
Like whatever you
He's
call
either gonna have 10 for 200 and 3
He's gonna
touchdowns.
knock him or he won't do shit, and I don't know which
Yeah,
one.
or he's gonna get like 1 for 2.
Yeah, I hope it's that.
And knowing Tyler, it's gonna be 1 for 2.
Oh, is he on Tyler's
Am I
team?
playing against him? No, he's not anymore. I've traded him.
Oh, that's right. I thought he was still on the team.
No, I got rid of him because I thought he's going to a team which at the moment, Tank Dell's been hurt basically all year. But I thought he's going to a team where he's actually going to have like very good target competition, and then he's basically not had that because it's just been him and Nico,
Mm-hmm.
which is frustrating. Plus, I thought he was
Yeah.
kind of on the back end of his career. I still don't. I mean, was my trade the best one I could have made? Probably not, but I wanted to get rid of him, and I mean, honestly, just getting a better draft pick was. I mean, I'm not disappointed with the trade. I'm not super thrilled with it, but I'm not mad about it.
Nico Collins leads the league in receiving yards by 103 yards. With
Yeah, I'll eat
400
some crow on the Nico Collins situation if you want me to.
All right.
I still like it when I see what he does. I'm just not overly impressed. But I mean, he's putting up numbers, and I mean, what else can you want out of somebody? So, yeah, I have that on my list of things to talk about. Is eating crow on him, and who was the other one? Diggs, Nico, Murray, all those people that I was like either high on or low on, and they're just doing the opposite.
Mm-hmm. And then
That's
old
what it
Marvin
is.
Harrison Jr. tied for the league lead in touchdown catches. So pretty good for my receivers.
Yeah, it's
Just
not
wanted to
bad.
throw that out there for you guys.
Yeah, it's not bad. There's a reason why you've been the top scoring team the last 2 weeks.
Well, it's been funny because looking at the potential. So last week, obviously Grant Collins was the highest potential, but then Chase was second at 210, and then I had 176. And then Chase and I have essentially flip-flopped in terms of potential points. The first week he had 176, I had 160. The second week I had 181, he had 160. Third week he had 210, I had 176. Fourth week I had 205, he had 179. So
The parallel.
yeah, so this is the week that Chase's team is gonna pop off, which, by the way, he plays Grant Collins, so that's going to be the matchup to watch out of our league.
Isn't that wild to say? Would you have thought that last year that you thought Grant Collins' team was the team to watch?
No, because his team was so, like, he had good players, but they were so bad. And now
Yeah.
his team is just going the fuck off.
Well, I mean, you got Kyron Williams, who gets 90% of the touches there. You've got Kenneth Walker, who's probably one of the best running backs in the NFL that nobody talks about. And now with Rashee Rice out, he's going to have Travis Kelce, who's going to eat up all that. I mean, they fought for the same targets. So Travis Kelce's back way up to the top of the line. If he wasn't winning, I would just be screaming to sell Travis Kelce. Like if he wasn't having as much, because this is I think one of your last opportunities to get out from under him in a dynasty.
Oh yeah. Well, I think he's going to retire after the year.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And then he's starting Justin Fields at quarterback, who had 34 points 31 points,
Yeah, he had a lot. Yeah,
and he almost
2
dropped
rushing
him before
touchdowns, I think.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of drops,
Are
this is
any
in
of
a seasonal league. Somebody dropped Sam Laporta.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, he
So I have a
hasn't
waiver
done
claim in
well
on him,
this
but I
year,
won't get.
yeah.
But neither has anybody else. He picked up Tyler Kraft. He dropped Sam Laporta for Tyler Kraft.
Backup tight end in Green Bay.
That's what he did.
Okay.
Terrible.
I mean, I guess it is what it is. If you're convicted, and you think he sucks, get rid of him, get him off your team. But
I wouldn't go that far. I'd
I
ride him
don't think
out.
I'd drop him. I mean, I still have Mark Andrews on
Not
that
when he
league.
was
Yeah,
not when he's a top 8 tight end in the league last year.
yeah.
Crowley asked if any of us are in a standard league, and if you are, on a scale of 100 to 100, how fucking bad does it suck?
No.
I couldn't
Like-
tell you. I quit doing those years ago.
Yeah.
I've never done a standard league, not one single
They
time.
suck. They
I
suck. Do you
used to
remember
be
when
in one back in the day, but not anymore.
we used to? This league used to be standard.
No
Because I
PPR?
remember when it wasn't a PPR, and when I took it to vote, Grant Collins didn't want to do PPR. He wanted to keep it standard.
What?
And when I said why, he said, "You're giving them points for doing their job." And I said, "Well, Grant, you get them points for yards and touchdowns." I said, "It's the same thing."
Was that him? I thought that was Hayden that made that argument.
No,
Like-
no, that was Grant Collins. Yeah, Hayden's big supporter of it.
Yeah, I didn't think that argument made sense either because it's like, well, literally, that's all we're doing. Like, you give them,
Yeah,
give them points. Literally, just like they score a touchdown, they get points for it. They fucking get yards. You know what I mean? Like, it's all the same fucking thing.
yeah. I thought it was funny.
Apparently, according to Chase and Crowley, both Tucker Kraft has taken over tight end 1 for Luke Musgrave.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
I
sucks
thought that was
because I had Tucker Kraft and I dropped him in off season to make room for some rookies. So, damn, that would have been another tight end for me.
Uh-oh.
That's no good.
Damn, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah. What else do we need to talk about? This is the second season of this standard league. Trey was in the league last year, and it fucking blows. Is
Was
that why
it?
you left?
No, I didn't like, and I say this, and I'm kind of a fucking hypocrite about it because I joined another Yahoo league. But I hate Yahoo's like whole entire setup.
Yeah.
I feel like when they were like designing the way it looks, they were like, well, this is how everybody else does it, so let's do something completely different, just because we don't want to look like everybody else, and it looks fucking stupid. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to show you. Hold on. If you've never done a Yahoo league before,
No, I've only done ESPN, NFL, and Sleeper.
yeah. All right. So Yahoo does it like this. It's quarterback first, then your first 2 receivers, then your running
What?
back, then your flex and tight end, then your fucking bench, and then your well, all right. So I'll take that back because this one doesn't have it like that when you're looking at the matchup. But if you look at the team, your fucking defense and kicker are all the way at the bottom. So you know
Okay, make that make sense.
I can't. It looks fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I didn't remember the one that he's talking about being a standard league last year. I thought it was a PPR also. I don't remember that league that much.
29 of 40 for 351 and 3 touchdowns for old Kirk.
Yeah, he's killing. He's killing. This is
I mean,
yeah,
this is a pretty dang good Thursday night football game.
right, because they're normally ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, 57
So
points.
did y'all hear the stuff about week 6 or week 8? The Commanders and Ravens are supposed to play, and they're currently on CBS. And
Oh, I
Sunday
heard
Night
about
Football wants to flex them to Sunday night to get out of the Bengals and somebody else, who it is.
Wasn't it
CBS
John?
won't let them.
Thank God. I want to fucking see the Bengals on Sunday night. Watch them
Yeah.
be fucking totally ass water, and Malik will get fucking
it.
100 yards on them.
Yeah, probably. Crowley said he agrees with Trey. It's so bad, so bad. I begged them to go to Sleeper, and they all wanted to keep it Yahoo so they could all keep their, quote, trophies, quote, which are stupid as shit, too.
Sleeper, well, they move over to Sleeper, don't they?
Ours
I'm pretty sure
didn't.
you can import your league, but ours was NFL. You couldn't import NFL. I think you can import Yahoo.
Okay.
I don't think you can import.
Probably, but the following week. We don't play the Giants. The Bengals don't play the Giants until week 7.
Is it next week or is it week 8?
No, sorry, it's week 6. It's week 6.
Okay, so it's next week.
It's not this week, but it's the following week.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crowley, that's next week is what they wanted to do. Do that. Yeah, that's right. At the Giants next week. Which, I mean, I can't blame them for trying that because Lamar against Jaden Daniels, 2 running quarterbacks like that are lighting up the league, it's going to be a hell of a matchup, especially with how Washington's offense has been playing.
You're not wrong.
Yep. All right, Commish, what do you want to talk about? You said you had a segment
All right.
tonight.
All right, I have kind of 2 of them. Okay, so the first, they're the same. It's the same concept. It's which player would you want, player A or player B?
Okay.
So player A, these are quarterbacks. Player A has 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 904 passing yards, 61 rushing yards. Player B has 6 touchdowns, 1 interception, 145 rushing yards. Which one would you rather have?
What?
I mean,
The second.
probably player B because they would end up with more fantasy points.
Any idea who those players are?
Not a clue.
Crowley said Mahomes and Darnold. I think the first one is Mahomes.
It's Mahomes and Justin Fields.
No shit.
Yeah. Mahomes, have you looked at Mahomes like over the last probably 20 games?
Dude, he's
If
not
he
been
wasn't
good.
Patrick Mahomes, then he would be getting shit on.
Dude, he's honestly, if you block out the name, he's a streaming quarterback.
Yeah.
For the past, I mean, for this year for sure, but even if you look at last year, let me just read you his last, excluding the playoffs, but they're not any better, but excluding the playoffs, 13, 16, 13, 15, and then if you go back into last year, 12, 16, 16, 14, 13, 21, 17, 16, 6, 34, 17, 19, 12. Like, he's not been great.
No. So
And if it wasn't for the
consistently
name on his
average
jersey,
quarterback.
he'd be on waivers.
Dude, I saw a video today where it was talking about, and of course, technically, the fucking Terry Bradshaw, I didn't watch the whole video, but Terry Bradshaw made a good point, I guess. There was like the best quarterback of the last 3 years and the best quarterback the next 3 years. And all of them said, it's hands down Mahomes. And I'm like, statistically, he's kind of not that good.
No, he wins
Right.
games. You can give him that, but like if you're talking about somebody that's putting up numbers, he's not that guy.
He shows up in the clutch moments, but if you look at the overall game as a whole, their defense is doing more for them, and then Pacheco even running the ball
Most of the shit last year.
is doing more for them really than what Mahomes is doing.
Why aren't we talking about this on the phone? I was saying that since Tyreek left, Mahomes has not been that good of a quarterback. Fantasy standpoint like that.
Yeah.
He's not been that good.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also crazy. 53-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Worthy. was 65.5 in the air, and that's Mahomes' longest in air passing touchdown of his career.
Wow.
He hadn't thrown a 50-yard touchdown pass in over 2 years, which since Tyreek left, so it makes sense.
Yeah, he just hasn't. I mean, this is why like it pisses me off every time I see him win a game, and everybody's like, Mahomes this, Mahomes that. It's like, man, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Y'all are living in a different fucking reality. Bring back Alex Smith. Dude, have you seen his fucking leg, bro? He can't play football anymore.
Yeah, it's messed
Chase
up.
said Tyreek Hill or Amari Cooper. Well, Amari Cooper is my sit. But Tyreek Hill should probably also be sat because they don't have a quarterback that can throw the fucking ball.
I was going to say, I'm going Amari Cooper over Tyreek Hill.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would still take him, but I hope he doesn't score anything.
Also, the other player, I was gonna do a comparison of Bijan Robinson to Brian Robinson over the past like 10 games, which one you'd be more proud to have. And I don't
Yeah.
think it's Bijan. Bijan has been. I mean, if you just look at, I'll pull up the numbers. So this is Brian
here's the
Robinson.
one caveat to that. So last year with Arthur Smith, Atlanta seemed to use Tyler Algier a lot more than necessarily what they're doing this year. So that did hurt Bijan some, but this year hadn't been great for him so far.
Yeah, and they're starting to use Tyler Algier more.
Chase asked, I guess Tyreek Hill or Wan'Dale Robinson. Are we talking about
I
this?
take Wan'Dale. Wan'Dale, and I wouldn't even have to think about that.
Yeah.
And that's not even dependent on if Neighbors plays or not. If Neighbors plays, I still think you take Wan'Dale. But if he doesn't play, Wan'Dale get 35 targets.
I think he'll be better if Neighbors plays.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't think Wan'Dale. I don't think he can handle the attention. But I mean,
no.
I could be wrong on that. But I think he's better if Neighbors plays. Also, I don't know how much y'all have watched of Malik Neighbors, but man, he's awesome. Kyle Pitts with another. There it is. Get it, boy. I'm so stupid.
Your feed is about a play ahead of mine.
Hey, you know what's funny is Crowley calls you the fucking Oracle, but you do shit. And it's no.
I know. It's embarrassing. I mean, I think he just caught like an 8-yard pass, so he's got 17 points on my bench.
9 yards.
Yep. Isn't it absolutely crazy how important Tua is for the Dolphins? We're starting Wan'Dale over here. I mean, nobody thought that because you didn't think Tua was that good of a quarterback until he goes out and realize how bad the Dolphins' offense is.
Who's to blame
he's really the perfect guy for that. Who's that?
Their GM, who knows good and well that Tua is just one hit away from ending his career. And he doesn't put anybody better to back him up than Tyler Huntley. I mean, you look at
they didn't get Tyler Huntley until he had the concussion. They had Skylar Thompson
so you look at the Colts. The Colts had Anthony Richardson, who had a season-ending surgery last year, so they backed him up with Joe Flacco. You look at the Browns, who have Doo Watson, and they backed him up with Jameis Winston. You look at the Panthers. The Panthers, who had Bryce Young, and they backed him up with the Red Rocket. So it's like, how do they not? I like Rocket better. I think it's funny. It's like the dog. But like, how do you not back him up, this super injury-prone guy, with somebody, just anybody that's decent?
And they had Mike White, who played.
Mike White would have been way better.
Yeah, and he's a veteran in the league. Like, he's 30 years old. Like, he's got experience playing for the Jets, playing for Miami. He knew the offense because he's been in Miami the last couple of years. They just felt that Skylar Thompson, who was younger, beat him out for the job, which I can understand. But at the same point, I feel like he'd be a hell of a lot better fit than what Thompson has been or Huntley. You know, Huntley brings the running aspect. But and then they've still got Tim fucking Boyle. as the other quarterback they have on their roster. I mean, I feel like one of us could throw it about as well as Tim Boyle.
By the way, Kyle Pitts is on the trade block.
I'll give you a 2027 fourth.
Yeah, you move it up a few rounds, I'll give it to you. But he's still got value. I mean, he may not be the best. He's still
Oh,
got
yeah.
value.
They just blocked the field goal on that game.
Yeah.
Well, Darnell Mooney dropped a first down pass. Hit it, literally bounced off his chest.
Bench him. He's garbage.
He sucks, doesn't he?
So,
you know what's funny?
my
I
ear-
drafted him with the last pick in my standard redraft league, or my PPR redraft league, and I dropped him.
So
I did
my
drop him for
ESPN
Jordan
league.
Mason, but I dropped him.
Yeah. My ESPN league. I have Christian McCaffrey, who's an IR. Trey McBride, who's coming back from injury. Devontae Adams, who's injured. Rashee Rice, IR. Jonathan Brooks, PUP. All of that to say, I have Will Levis as my backup quarterback and try to drop him, pick up another position player, but I can't because of ESPN's roster size rules that you can't have more than 4 running backs or 6 wide receivers.
That sucks.
So, yeah. So I'm
Hey,
kinda
speaking of
stuck
Devontae
where I'm
Adams,
at.
what do you think is going to happen with him? What do you
He's
think?
gonna
Let
be
me ask you
traded
this.
in the-
What's best case scenario?
I
Well,
tell you what,
I want to say best case scenario for him is he goes to the Jets because of the relationship he has with Rodgers, and it should be a familiar system because the OC was in Green Bay. However, I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing for all of fantasy because that kind of cucks Garrett Wilson, or does it open up one of
I think
them
it helps Garrett
because
Wilson.
you can't guard both.
Yeah. I think it
So,
helps Garrett Wilson. I think
Chase
he's a
is
better. I think
Pittsburgh.
if he doesn't have all the attention. I know. I hate that Pittsburgh is in the conversation because they have the money for it.
Mhm.
I had him on the trade block just to see if anybody wants him, but I have a feeling that Pittsburgh is going to be where he lands and nobody's going to want him. Now, if
Yeah,
he
and
goes
you're
to the
trying
Commanders,
to speak it into existence for the Bills.
the Bills makes total sense. The Bills makes so much
It
sense.
does. However, the Bills are running into the cap situation because of Josh Allen. So I don't know that they've necessarily got the space to be able to do it.
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know. But there was people talking about that they could
and the
get
thing
the
with-
Raiders to pick up a few more, like wait a few weeks or pick up a few weeks of his contract or something like that, so that it's not as big of a cap hit.
Yeah, because it just takes off the weekly value of his contract every week that goes by.
Yeah.
And the thing, so this year he's only got like 19 million left or something this year, but the next 2 years he's due 36 million. So that's what the big kicker is. They said whoever trades for him is likely going to want to restructure that so that number comes down some. But like Chase said, Pittsburgh was willing to pay 30 a year for Ayuk, so I'm sure they'd be willing to do the same thing for Adams. But Washington would also be an interesting situation. We'll be curious to see if he did go there, how that would affect Terry McLaurin. I
Yeah,
would
that's a good
think it would
point.
be a similar situation as Wilson in terms of help him, but at the same time, does it
Higher
just
quality
hurt
but
his
less
value?
volume. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I'm really thinking about it. Every pass in Washington is a high quality pass at this point. He's like 80-something% accuracy, 82% through the first 4 games.
Yeah.
he's 10% higher than the next closest person. I think he's at 82 in the next.
That's wild.
Yeah.
As a rookie.
That's insane.
Yep.
Well, that's all I had. I was just
Yep.
going to do a couple of them. I had thought about trying to do a few more, but I had those two, and I was like, yeah. Oh wait, I didn't do this. I didn't tell you the second one. I was going to go through the numbers of what Brian Robinson has done over the past season, I guess, and then compare that to Bijan, and it's not. It's weird. Nobody talks about Brian Robinson. Like nobody talks about how good he is and has been. He's
What? And the crazy thing about that too is like in my mind too, like he's still, which this was 2 years ago, he's still the guy that got shot and came back and played,
yeah.
and he shared it with Antonio Gibson.
Yep.
It looks like Will froze up.
He did. But I was agreeing with everything he had to say. He's just the guy that everybody forgot about. Like everybody just nobody like I listen to tons of podcasts when I'm on the road for work and he hardly ever gets the only time that I've heard him be talked
Under the
about
radar.
really this year was that when somebody said that their son took him as thinking he was Bijan. He took him 4th overall.
Mhm.
And he doesn't look dumb for doing it because he's been good this year.
Yep.
Also, Will, you cut out real hard. You cut out for like a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, I know it. Everything froze on my side, so I'm probably at the furthest point away in my house from my router, so it goes in and out sometimes.
Man,
I
Oh,
think one of
no.
the very few guys that scored double digits every week is Brian Robinson.
what?
You'll see it. Y'all want to discuss these trades that Trey has made? One of which with me, I guess we don't have to talk about that one, but Will, what are your thoughts on the other trade Trey made?
What was the other trade Trey made? Oh, Trey
It
Benson
was,
for Aaron
yep.
Jones.
And it was,
That
it
sets
was
up
a
for the
fixed spot.
future, and it backs up James Conner, so it makes sense. And he got a first-round pick out of it. So I think from just an optic standpoint, it makes a lot of sense for him to do that.
Yeah.
Just from who he's got and picking up an earlier pick. So I thought it made a
talking
sense.
to Tyler about this, I think earlier today or maybe earlier in the week. God damn you, Rashad White, you fucking piece of shit.
That was Bucky Irving, not Rashad White.
It says Rashad White fumbles.
No, it was Bucky Irving. It wasn't Rashad White.
Bucky Irving.
Well, I better get my fucking points back from Sleeper.
And I didn't realize Aaron Jones had been as good as he has been this year.
He's been great.
So Chase sent me Chase said boo that trade. So I was
Chase said what?
I was about ready to fucking this week.
He said boo that trade.
A trade that fucking Chase sent me. And because he wanted Aaron Jones and James Conner for Brandon Ayuk and Jalen Warren. And I was like furious at that trade because like Brandon Ayuk has not been good and Jalen Warren is a backup. And now here I am giving him Aaron Jones and fucking James Conner, who are both RB1s. You know, sure, they could be playing their last seasons as RB1s. But I was just like, man, that fucking sucks. Everything about that fucking sucks. Sorry, Chase.
Where's Chase's comment? Where's his comment? I'm looking at the comment.
I mean, I guess by all of the trade calculators, it's technically a fair trade. I just didn't see it that way.
Didn't like it.
No, and I liked James Conner a lot. Like, I think James Conner is good so long as he is healthy. Aaron Jones I like also, but Aaron Jones, I think, especially when he was in Green Bay, like they just did stupid shit with him. He'd have a huge game and he'd be so good, and then the next game he just was non-existent.
Well, Aaron Jones would have a 30-yard run and they take him out for A.J. Dillon for no reason.
Yeah, well, but it seemed like they almost like game planned this shit. Like he'd have a game where he blew up and he did great and he was just the focal point of the fucking running game. And then the very next game, it was like, no, we're not gonna do that this week. We're gonna go with A.J. Dillon. And it was like, man, what the fuck is this? What are you guys doing? Technically, I guess I kind of wish I had traded Aaron Jones a long time ago, but that's not really exactly how that worked.
So Chase said starting with the worst trade and then working up to the major.
Oh.
You didn't give him enough time to bring Jamar Chase into it.
Yeah, so I told Chase I didn't like that trade, and I discussed why. And then he gave me a trade that I did like, and I thought about it for a little bit. Actually, I did make a trade offer that was kind of just me being a smart ass about it. But the thing about it, Green Bay hasn't had too many. Crowley said Green Bay has so many good receivers, but that only happened last year. I mean, this was when they just had they didn't have too many good receivers when they had Aaron Jones. I don't think.
Well, I think when they had Aaron Jones, they had Aaron Rodgers, and Rodgers wanted to throw the ball. He knew the value of a good running back, but he didn't want to run it 20 to 25 times a game. So that hurt also.
So Chase sent me Wandale and something for, I think, James Conner. But he took the trade away. I was going to accept it. I was like, I think I'm going to take this one. And then he took it out. And then I sent that trade offer to Wendell. And then Chase again and was like, what about this trade? And I'm like, well, here's the thing. I kind of sent a trade to Wendell. I'm waiting to see if he's going to accept it. Because, if that happens, if Wendell accepts that trade, that kind of screws up me trading James Conner. It doesn't necessarily, but it kind of does.
Yeah.
And
hey, that's the wheeling and dealing of a GM right there.
Yeah.
You got to get in or get out.
He offered me Jamar Chase. Shit, let me read this text that he sent me because I can't exactly remember the. Jamar Chase for Bowers and James Conner. That was what he offered me, and I was like, "Ooh, I like it." But this was when, this was after the Wendell trade. But me and Tyler were already as he was sending that, me and Tyler were already talking and had been talking a couple of weeks about trading Bowers for Brian Robinson.
A lot of wheeling and dealing going on your side.
It was a lot, yeah. I'm wondering if I even got half of those trades right that I just talked to you guys about. I know.
I think so. You gonna keep wheeling and dealing, or are you done?
I mean, I'm not against wheeling and dealing. I think I still have a couple of people on the trade block.
Are you keeping James Conner on there?
No, I took James. I've got. I still have Eckler on there. I might take Eckler off because now I've got him and Robinson. I got Pittman on there still. I got Rashad White on there still. I got Evan Ingram on there still. I might need to take Evan Ingram off since I fucking.
Don't have Bowers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have had the 17 points of Kyle Pitts tonight.
Could have.
I don't want to talk about Kyle Pitts. I like to put all my tight ends on the trade block and just see who takes. Just put them all on there, all three of them.
How do you get these motherfuckers off the trade? Oh, no, that's drop. Questionable.
You click on them, and they should have a little box that looks like a little inbox on their name to the left of the star and to the right of the drop button.
I don't have that on the computer.
Oh, I don't know about the computer. I know how to do it on your phone.
Yeah, I know.
No, what you want to do is you want to, by their name, you want to click on the little helmet. And
you want to click the drop button?
Oh.
Drop them from the trade block.
It says drop real big next to the helmet. I don't think I'm going to be dumb enough to make that.
Yeah, that's how you drop them from the trade block.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
Would that be a hell of a fab fight?
I guess I can drop Eric All at this point, huh?
Yeah, probably. Tyler, do you want to try to talk to Chase about your waiver battle y'all had?
Oh, I sure do. That's 2 weeks in a row, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Because you got
I mean, how does it feel?
Davion Wicks for $47, and Chase bid $42, and Grant Robinson bid $20.
But it gets better than that. And then Justice Hill, who Chase did get, He bid $41. He's the only one that bid on it.
Yeah, right.
I got Eric All, which I don't think. I mean, I guess I'll gas him up real quick before I drop him. But like, I'm surprised nobody had picked him up yet. Like, he's had 3 games in a row, which he's not totally involved, but 4 targets, 4 catches for somewhere around 30 yards. He's 9.2, 8.2, 8.8. He's averaging 9 points a game. Nobody looks at him.
I picked up Gesicki because he was looking good that one game. I didn't think nothing about. Like, I picked Gesicki up, and then literally the next game it was all Eric All. I'm like, what the fuck? So,
Well, he can be yours. I'll trade him to you.
I'll just wait for you to
Interesting that all ended up playing 18 more snaps than Gesicki did last week.
do what?
Yep. All ended
I
up
didn't even
playing more
hurt
snaps
the
than
guy,
Gesicki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. It was kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah, he kind of sucks. But he's
Okay,
getting targets.
over with, isn't it?
No, because they're getting ready to. It's 4th and 24, and I'm pretty sure that the Falcons are about to get the ball back. Minute 21.
No timeouts left. Let's see if Kirk has some magic.
For either team?
Well, I gotta find somebody to pick up and drop Eric Hall. I could go down the Cam Akers pathway again and just be super sad. Every week.
I don't think he'll play much longer because
I'm
Bailey's
not
supposed to
picking
be
him
back.
up. He sucks. All right, boys. Well, I got nothing else.
I don't
Hey.
either. Trey, you got anything?
Nope. Sure don't.
All right, shit
Kyle Pitts
hits.
another catch.
What is it?
Kyle Pitts caught the ball again.
Did he?
It was the best game of his career. I just had to put him on my bench to get it.
And as soon as you start him, he'll suck again.
I'm gonna start 3 tight ends next week.
Well, hey, if it works.
Don't think I won't do it. I have 3 good tight ends. No, they're not playing well, but I have 3 good ones.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney with another big catch. All right, I'm going off before I lose my mind.
All right, we'll holler at
See
y'all
you
next week.
See you guys.